Ring, 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 hello, pimps and vegans.
We are not poor anymore.
We'll see about that. And welcome back
What
to
the
Krown's
fuck?
magical, very sexy, extremely seductive, magic internet money cake.
Don't do it! Anyway. Welcome back to the Krown Crypto channel. It's a lovely morning over here from Helsinki, Finland. Nice and snowy outside. We have a bit of a storm going on right now, and I'm actually taking my first sip of coffee for the first time in about 2 weeks, actually. It's been a nice run, but we had daylight savings time, so I need a little bit of help waking up in the morning right now, and it's actually definitely doing the trick, man. Holy shit, if you take 2 weeks off of caffeine, yeah, caffeine, that's it, and then you have like one little sip, it's like immediately, man, the fucking heart starts racing and everything starts pumping, and then the price action starts going up, and then everything starts flying around, and it's like the numbers start going off the fucking sheets. It's like I can't even fucking read them anymore. It's like, what the hell's going on? It's good morning. It's a very good fucking morning. As Bitcoin continues with the old rally right there, and that gives us plenty to talk about in the short, high, and medium-term time frames as well. And of course, we got the monthly and quarterly close in just a few days. Actually, I think we got another 3 days left. Yeah, 3 days left in the trading month to go, and then it ends all on Thursday to set it up for the next big quarter. And that typically is a big turning point for a lot of things. Typically because whenever you get a new quarter, that is when the big money managers get a lot of new money to put into the markets or take out, but reallocate, let's say, which is why you typically do see kind of reversals on that sort of a schedule. Anyways, it's going to be a big topic of today, obviously. I see Nikki Page over there. What's up? I love you too, Nikki Page. You are amazing. Our lovely moderator crew. I think that we have a few other moderators in the house as well. I know Nimbo's around. What's up, Dad Rackus? Not a moderator, but still good. Tom Struck, good morning to you as well. Even Elsa's here. What's up, Mr. Jack Frost? And who else do we have? Actually, I just see Nikki Page for right now. Well, fair enough. We got the right moderators in the house right now, so it's all good in the hood, and I think that we got just enough, man. And holy shit, a lot of people watching right now as well. 900 people in the house. Massive thank you for the 279 likes on this video. As always, I never say it, but I will say today, if you do find this content helpful or valuable in some way in your life, a good way to kind of give back to the channel is just a simple like on the video. You don't have to if you don't want to. If you don't find the content, in any way, shape, or form useful, it's all good, man. I'm not here to fucking force you, but we do have a lot of things to be speaking about today. Before we get into that, I wanted to give a big shout out in the Discord because, man, I've been loving what I've been seeing recently. This is fucking incredible. This is the exact sort of community that I want to be building right now, or being a part of, more importantly, and especially in the members Discord. It's become a part of the culture while people are doing, their own backtesting and really getting into it and really, inspiring and being that sort of point of reference for the newcomers into it. And I want to give a major shout out. I know that there's a lot of people doing this right now, but just someone who's really stood out recently is Burgle. In my mind, I refer to his name as Burgle-Cunt, but I think it's actually Burgle-Cut. Burgle-Cut, now that I look at it. He's a phenomenal guy, and he's really been kind of leading the charge in that, especially for the newer crews. So massive shout out to you, sir, and everyone else who's been showing that in the Discord, because that's what it's all about, man. That's all that it is. I mean, once you kind of get a few strategies here and there, it's just fucking backtesting those, and as soon as you kind of see it in front of your face, that is where you start to, get your own experience, which is fucking invaluable to just alleviating your own emotions when it is to actually play out a lot of these setups. I mean, that's all that it basically is at the end of the day. So major shout out to you, my friend, and to everyone else who's been a part of that, and I'm sure many more to come as well. Anyways, I am gonna take another sippy sip of this, and then we are going to get into the analysis of the day. I suppose it's gonna kind of be difficult to know where to start off in this analysis, because it's like, where do you want to start off, on the short-term timeframes, on the higher-term timeframes? Obviously, not too much has changed on the higher-term timeframes, but the changes that we have had are the most impactful, of course. Hey, what's up, Crypto Surfer? Aloha to you as well, man. A nice positive message in the early morning. In the early morning hours, Charlie's Chronicles. What's up over there, man? Much love to us as well. And Lou Franio, the Hulk himself, the fucking Hulk himself, is in the house. Beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. All right, I need to desperately take another sip of this. My camera seems to be choppy as all hell. I wonder what's going on right there. That's strange. I haven't made any changes with that, but oh well, maybe it's time to swap in the old camera. Give it a little bit of the round robin. Anyways, here we start off with Bitcoin for today. We are going to swing back into the Krown trading application a little bit later. Big things to be aware of course, on the global open interest and also funny rates as well. And of course, the leverage ratios, all of which pretty fucking high. I should take that back. Not for the funny rates. They're not very high right now. In fact, they're actually rather low. But as far as open interest representing leverage positions, and then the leverage ratio representing the ratio between leverage positions and spot positions, very, 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 very high, all things considered. So I want to start off today's analysis. With another look at the same 5-day chart that we've been bringing up on pretty much all of the videos for the past couple weeks here. I did a more in-depth macro analysis yesterday, so if you're interested in that, check out the long-term analysis playlist. That's the purpose of it. But for right now, I think this is the most relevant one for the higher-term timeframes. And it's a 5-day chart right here. Again, looking at 5-day BBWP representing volatility, we have seen in the past couple years, and we can take it even further back than that. This one's just all within the same pane, so it makes it nice and easy to discuss. But basically, anytime that we've seen this get low-ish, which is in the teens in this case, we've seen a pretty damn similar response on price action all throughout the past couple years right here. I've marked off with these green vertical bars the turning point where we saw that first tick from downward slope to upward slope specifically. And I've also measured out all of the the times, the days taken to the next major high, and then also how much percentage that has taken on average. Anyways, the reason why I'm calling this one out right now is that we have yet again, as of the last closure, our first tick up on the current 5-day BBWP, and also getting above the moving average as well. So this is technically like the signal, if you are looking at volatility, to kind of be that sort of well, I guess that signal in in that case. Now, of course, volatility is direction neutral. We've been saying this for a long time, or I mean, that's just a simple fact. But what we've been saying is we can use a momentum also to kind of get a bias on direction, and that's what we've done on this chart right here. So first and foremost, let's show you the results. As always, we do see that over the past 1, 2, 3, 4 iterations of this, again, we're working on number 5 right here, has been on average 45% up or down from the expansion on that extreme low on 5-day BBWP, and then from that time point takes about 40-ish days, let's say 40-ish days on average to play out that move. So we are seeing that expansion right now as of the last closure. This is obviously getting continuation right here. As far as gauging what direction this is likely to go in, well, I think that things are a little bit more obvious right now. Of course, we have been using this 5-day stochastic momentum oscillator over here, which over the past couple of years, and even further back than that, we can go over here as well. But I think, again, this is just easier to digest for right now. These have essentially gone in the right direction, especially coming out of the bullish and bearish control zones. So for example, on this first one right here in May, obviously the 5-day stochastic momentum was headed to the downside and also losing the bullish control zone at the same time. Vice versa for this one to the upside in the July bear trap from about 30,000 to, basically 53. Same thing over here to the upside yet again, and then more recently in December to the downside. Anyways, obviously as of right now, this is not just headed up, it is, well, pretty much vertical, and it is also getting out of the bearish control zone. Not even just getting out of the bearish control zone, it's about to get back into the bullish control zone, likely on this next tick, assuming that Bitcoin closes anywhere above, especially 46,000 bucks. And this will remain with its upside curvature as long as Bitcoin's closing above 39,300. That number did change from yesterday to today, or perhaps I was looking at CME. Anyways, in this case, same sort of analysis on it. And of course, that was kind of giving us a bit of an earlier bias that this was likely to see an expansion to the upside. Obviously, now you just want to see continuation. And of course, the reason why I'm calling this out is because it gives us a generalized area to be looking at for targets. Now, I'm going to come back a little bit later as to a major invalidation. And I actually do think that there is reason to be somewhat concerned right now. We're going to overlay conditions for where that would be validated. As of right now, obviously it is not. But if we are going to see validation, it would happen as soon as next week, the end of next week, that is. Anyways, in this case right here, the targets or the relevant targets over the next 40 or so days, let's say, based off of this, historically speaking, would be about $56,000 to the upside versus about $23,000 to the downside. Okay, so that is very, very, or I think that's very interesting. I think that that's rather important. And what we can do over here is we can take that a few steps further. First and foremost, with the technical formation that we do see specifically on CME, and yes, it is on spot price action as well, but I think it's more obvious on CME. That is your ascending triangle on the lows right here. This has actually been, or pretty much resolved as of today in the last like 36 hours, I would say. And this does have a technical target all the way up towards $56,000. Very interesting. Also in alignment, also in confluence with that $56,000 region would be, of course, if we pull it all the way out, when in doubt, pull it out, right? Anyways, we do see if we were to take a bearish Fibonacci retracement from the high to the low of this current move here, so this whole move starting from November, basically finding a low in January, the 618 Fibonacci retracement would be around $56,000. That's $56,000. So again, very, very good confluence within these two targets. Obviously, there's going to be ebbs and flows along the way, assuming that this even plays out to begin with, and there is a big if with that, as we're going to discuss soon enough. I want to overlay a very important invalidation because I do think that, as always, I just want to differentiate the content on this channel compared to other channels by offering that up, because otherwise you can just make all these ridiculous claims and you only have to live by the ones that hit, right? And that's just not real trading in my experience, or at least I would imagine so. Or I haven't had much luck doing that, I can tell you that. Anyways, so there's a couple areas of interest along the way. Obviously, the one that we're at right now is at the 382. This, again, would be a bearish tracement. So if you are looking for this to end up being bearish, you actually are looking for a rejection pretty much right around here. That is your strong trending area for a lower high on these higher term timeframes. Obviously, the 0.5, just under $52,000, is also going to be a major area of interest. It is in alignment with those, those pair of highs that we saw in December on that rejection before further major continuation to the downside. And then yes, you got this area right here. And yes, this is a bearish retracement. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want to be aware of where those potential tricky areas would be if Bitcoin were to end up putting in a massive bull trap. So I know while we're all kind of very excited for this price action right now, which hey, there's good reason to be, I do want to present that yeah, there actually is a major potential bearish thing to be aware of. Now again, it is very far away from being validated, and personally speaking, I don't think that this is going to happen. But if it were to happen, it would make me quite bearish, looking for moves down to 30,000 and probably even playing out the downside target from that volatility chart on the 5-day, somewhere around about $23,000 to $24,000. This is how it would likely look like. And again, keep in mind where that 382 retracement was at around 48,000 bucks. In this case right here on the weekly, you'll notice on the weekly RSI for both spot and of course CME, but I'm just focusing on CME because typically speaking over a Monday, it is going to be a better chart. We do see that there will be potential for hidden bearish divergence here between this spike high that we saw in December this is, and the high that Bitcoin's putting in right now. How would you confirm this as a local high, thus confirming that as hidden bearish divergence, thus very likely confirming those downside targets? Again, I don't think that this is the most likely thing to happen, but I do think that it's important to be aware of these sorts of things. And that would be if Bitcoin were to come back down and especially close a higher term time frame, specifically below about $44,500. Until that happens, I do essentially look for upside continuation towards those targets. And what I think is more likely, that is what the statistics and probabilities say is more likely as well. But hey, these things need to be discussed, because otherwise you just turn into one of them fucking bull trumpets, and that's not helpful unless the people are like looking to join a fucking cheerleading squad, which is, hey, fair enough, man. Elsa was a cheerleader and it's good stuff, but it also doesn't get you paid, and it's also bullshit, and also it's fucking disgusting, and also it's fucking annoying, man, and also it's obnoxious. It's fucking obnoxious, man. Okay, so anyways, off that topic and on to the next one. Let's go back on over here. I want to speak about the monthly right now, seeing as we are going to be closing a monthly relatively soon in the next 3 days. There's something very, 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 very important baking right now, and that is hidden bullish divergence being constructed with a closure basically here or higher, anywhere above last month's high, which was 45,866 price. That will confirm that hidden bullish divergence, and of course that does have a technical target as well, a pretty deep one actually, right around, guess where, about $56,500 to $57,000. Of course, the weekly also has confirmed a higher low right here as well. We have low, higher low, and yet again a higher low, and even just these pair of higher lows right here, very fucking important. Very, 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 very important. The reason why I say that is because typically when you are seeing a trend reversal, you see, if it's going to be the upside, you typically see two higher lows first rather than a low and then a higher high, for example, and vice versa for the downside. You see two lower highs first and then you get your lower low. So in this case, you got this high right here, you got this high right here, that's your next lower high. Obviously after that, then came your lower low, of course. So in that case, again, I am looking for general upside continuation. We haven't even seen volatility expansion on the weekly here, but what I would say is that both the weekly, basically all higher term timeframes are showing incredibly low volatility. So the 5-day we already looked at, the weekly we're looking at right here. The monthly is a big, is a big focus for me as well. As I put on my drawing tools, we are at, some pretty, at some pretty like incredible lows right here. Historically speaking, we've only been lower volatility than this once in the history of Bitcoin on the monthly specifically. That's going to be in July of 2020. Guess where that was? That was coming out of the old Rona dump over here, and Bitcoin was straight onwards and upwards to the upside after that. And you'll notice that with all of these green vertical bars representing those turning points for monthly, extreme lows, we have seen it actually resolve to the upside. Now, of course, it's not always going to have that relationship. Like, no shit, volatility expansion can obviously come on major downside moves as well, but we have seen that relationship for the past, 3 extreme lows that we have seen right here, for what it's worth. So again, just another thing that probabilistically speaking probably does, align with Bitcoin trying a little bit higher in the next month to come, that month being March and April, and then May. Yeah, so April, whatever the fuck they are. All right, cool. It doesn't matter. Just it's a human construct, anyways. Okay, cool. So now that we have that, I think it's time to go into the lower term timeframes right here. Obviously, there's going to be pullbacks along the way. Representing the lower term timeframes. If you're on a daily right now, yes, we did get the silver cross. Yes, we did get the continuation from that. So that's all good in the hood. But that doesn't mean that we can't have a pullback relatively soon. I do think somewhere around the daily 200 simple is a likely short-term pullback region. And then the question is, does a pullback get below any one of the critical regions? That being about $44,500 now on a higher term time frame closure. If it does, that's at the point where I start to consider, hey, we might have a major bull trap in alignment here. If it doesn't, then it's just another higher low, and very likely does march up towards those next set of targets and sets up for corrective phases somewhere around there. But in this case, short term time frames are getting pretty extended. I actually haven't checked on CME just yet. Yeah, CME actually does show that it probably will try higher today. I wouldn't be surprised to see it try somewhere around $48,500 to $49,000. Maybe play out a short-term time frame pullback right there. But we're just seeing the 4-hour RSI, stay within the bullish control zone for the first time, consistently in a while, like months. And of course, we are seeing that volatility expansion. Still some room to go here as well, obviously. So I do look for this move to continue alongside volatility expansion. I'm looking for this one to get to some extremes here because we are looking very likely at a breakout, so we expect extremes before at least a correction. So yeah, I do think that Bitcoin does essentially try higher before consolidating, and maybe trying for a higher low a little bit lower. In this case, keep in mind we do have a nice gapola here at about $45,000 even. In this case, this would be considered a professional breakout. So I actually wouldn't be too surprised to not see this retested sooner rather than later, to be fair. You basically saw this move happen over the weekend, and I mean, this is like a 3-month long consolidation right here. Yeah, this does fit the bill for a professional breakout. Also should be known, daily RSI back in the bullish control zone for the first time in fucking October, November essentially, and daily volatility over here on CME specifically is really starting to expand for the first time in a while as well. So this move does look like it has some legs on top of it. There's going to be corrections along the way. It's probably going to be some pretty nasty corrections along the way, as we're going to discuss soon enough. But and also, I mean, the daily jewel actually got this one really fucking well once it got DMI support coming out of that last low. So I quite like that one as well. Anyways, there's two last things that I want to get to. I want to speak one towards the likely violent pullbacks and swings that we're probably going to see in this market, and that's due to the global open interest and leverage ratio, both of which are incredibly fucking high, all things considered. So the global open interest currently is at just over 14 billion, which is where I start to consider it like, hey, this is kind of high. And to put that in perspective, the last time that we were above 14 billion was actually, it wasn't even over here. We didn't even get above 14 billion in December rally. Remember, December rally was when Bitcoin failed at about $52,000. In fact, the last time that we were really above 14 billion was in early December before that dooms drop from actually $56,000. So you're seeing more leverage positions added on at a lower price, at a lower average price in this case. Obviously there's going to be some shorts there, some big shorts there, some big longs. But for right now, funding rates are starting to turn consistently positive. Now these are not like super high numbers. I consider 0.01% basically par for the course. But once it starts to get, about 5 to 10x bigger than that, that's where I start to look at that as, okay, we're probably going to be looking at minimum a pullback relatively soon. Anyways, the reason again why I'm calling this one out is because there are so many leverage positions on the board. If there is any sort of a any sort of a nice consolidation, we're probably looking at a decent pullback. It depends how high Bitcoin gets first before that pullback happens. I do think that things will generally trade higher from here before that pullback. Personally speaking, I do think that major pullback could happen at two very specific regions. One of them being at around $51,000 to $52,000. The next one being at around $56,000 to $57,000, basically for the reasons that we postulated earlier within this video. But ultimately, we're probably going to see like a major shave off of price action right there. At least that would be my general opinion on that as of right now. Other than that, I think this is a good place to kind of leave off on this video. We didn't really look too much at the stochastic momentum over here on the short-term timeframes, but basically, this is a breakout. I don't really care about where stochastic momentum is during a nice little breakout. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Bitcoin, sirs and zers. Lovely, man, fucking lovely. And let me take another sippy sip of this here coffee. Hopefully that one came out nice and well. We got 1,800 people watching right now and 682 likes, man. It just keeps on pumping up every time I look at it. That's amazing, man. That is fucking amazing. Massive thank you for the support on this channel. Especially after the 4-year anniversary of this place. Just insane, just fucking insane, man. And I see a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people here who've been here for like the last, 2, 3, even in some cases 4 years. I mean, that is wild. And that's probably one of the things that maybe I'm most happy about, because I mean, if you're still sticking around after that time, hopefully you're getting something from this, man, and that's fucking awesome, man. So massive thank you for that. I see an old friend here. What's up JE6? Yo, Krown, just saying hello, amigo. Look up for some water, taking it back down to sleep. Hey, man, I understand he's over there in America, not to dox him or anything, but I imagine it's time to get a little bit more Z's in your life, sir. Anyways, I'll take another few sips of this. Everyone's talking about the Will Smith thing from yesterday or today or whatever the fuck it is, man. Did you hear about the Will Smith thing, sir? Elsa says no, we don't care about it over here in Europe. Okay, that's just your problem over there in America. No, it's not. It's not a woke thing. Hey, what's up, Crypto Fundamentals? Good to fucking see you, man. Good to fucking see you. By the way, guys, check out Crypto Fundamentals on Twitter. One of the more reasonable people on that fucking cesspool of a social media site. But yeah, so to explain it to Elsa, who is not aware of world happenings, is oh my lord, we have a lot of comments today. Basically, it was the Grammys last night or something. I don't even know. It's like one of these fucking. Okay, Oscars. What? They're all just these fucking circle jerks. It's all just fucking circle jerks of giving each other trophies for work. Yeah, working. I mean, look, they do work. They do work pretty hard. All right, I'm talking nonsense right now. But let me just finish my goddamn point. Okay. Anyways. Chris Rock, I guess, was a host, and so he was making some jokes, as the host typically does, because he's also, a comedian, and he basically made fun of Will Smith's wife, and then Will Smith came and slapped him in the face and said, "Keep your wife's name out of my mouth." And there you go. There you fucking go. Uh-oh, the motherfucker. Is the video wrecked? Is the video wrecked? I think it's only my camera. Let's try this. I'm going to try to just reset it really quick. That's weird, man. I haven't had an issue with this in a long time. Let me just try to fix it like this.
Yeah, just the camera.
Let's see. All right, let's try that one more time. There we go. All right, let me just adjust. Okay. Good enough, man. All right. Well, that's weird. I haven't had an issue with the camera feed in ages now, but I guess, well, fair enough. Whatever. All right, we'll get off of that. That was a really good place for it to freeze as well. It looks really fucking bizarre. Tarnished Biologist. Oh man, that game was phenomenal. All right, we'll get into the comments now. I think that we have Hurricane Bully first. He's looking at a 4-hour and daily for Matic. Yeah, sure, man. I'm curious to see where a lot of these highly esteemed shitcoins are nowadays. Matic over here, actually looking pretty good, at least for some short-term continuation. 4-hour, I'd probably be looking for this one to trade up towards 173-ish region, 175. I do think that this move isn't done just yet. On the short-term timeframes, do you think that you're going to see it continue? Of course, on the daily, same thing as well. In fact, the daily's looking pretty primed here. I do think that there will be a pullback after that short-term continuation, but that pullback very likely does lead into another daily high or low, because this one is seeing expansion of volatility off of extreme lows right here, and daily RSI is getting back into the bullish control zone for the first time in a while. And do we have a higher high right here? Yeah, ever so slightly we do, and that's good enough for me. Again, I probably would be looking for a short-term pullback somewhere in the mid 170s, I suppose, but ultimately I do look for a continuation on this one. Probably up towards the 190s region. If we go over here to the weekly, I didn't ask about it, but I do think the weekly is just generally better, and I think the weekly has the most obvious chart right here for anything, and that is that drive of hidden bullish evidence come off the lows, and that will have tentacle targets into the shallow $2 regions. First one would be just under 210, and the second one would be somewhere around 240 or so. So pretty damn good right there for Matic, actually. Oh man, love that coffee, right? Ricky O. Oh, Mr. Jason. What's up, Mr. Jason? We got some Simps action coming into tomorrow. Ricky O is going to be looking at AVAX. Okay, AVAX. That's going to get me that's going to get me in trouble on the YouTubes. Or I don't think that we care about that anymore. I think it's all about Ukraine now. So wonder what that means. Anyways, Here we have Avalanche, symbol AVAX versus the dollar. This one's actually in a really, really interesting place right here, seeing as it is getting its first higher low, seemingly, alongside a silver cross on the daily. And this is all coming on incredibly low volatility. So you pulled back into a higher low on low volatility, and the daily RSI is right around the bullish control zone in this case. I do think that this one, probably is a bit more of a formality, but technically speaking, you do want to see it break out first. I wonder if I already have it in here. I do already have it in here. And I have my breakout levels basically, just above where we're at right now. I remember last week we looked at this one and we said short-term continuation up to the 90s. We've gotten that, of course. I don't mean to sound belligerent in that sense, but just we've gotten that move. Obviously, I am looking for short-term continuation, very likely to the top side of this overall structure right here, which is about 97 to 98 bucks, and then probably a short-term pullback there yet again. But ultimately, any sort of a closure above there on a daily closing basis, above 97 specifically, I am looking for this to play out this technical target off of this as a reaccumulation formation, which would be around about 120 to 130-ish region, basically around your prior closing highs coming in back from November and then again in December over here. So overall, pretty damn good. If you're looking at a weekly, which you did ask for as well, we do see another drive of hidden bullish divergence has been confirmed as of last night's closure. So yeah, I'm generally looking up and to the right here. Over a long enough period of time. Again, there will be pullbacks along the way. I would invalidate bullishness now on this blue box right here with any sort of a move below 82 bucks essentially. So below $82, I do essentially look for this one to come back down, retest around 73, 74 bucks, probably another bounce there, and then probably fails all the way down here. But ultimately for right now, I do still favor the upside. And yeah, one of the better looking charts for the moment being, of course, the monthly going to be closing in a couple days as well. And I mean, for what it's worth right now, we can't really make too much out of it, but okay, I suppose. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for AVAC. Maybe we actually just do one last look at it. I'm curious to see what she looks like over here. Just want to see where the higher term time frame stochastic momentum is for right now. Yeah, daily's getting another fresh cross up in the bullish control zone. 85. 85 is a magical number right there. Weekly, fresh up as well, above 68. 5-day. Just fucking vertical above 72. So yeah, I'm going to be in favor of the upside continuation here with those targets in mind and those invalidations in mind as well. Hopefully that was helpful, man. Cool. And then Ricky O again. All right, man. Ethereum USD daily, weekly. Okay. Please. I forgot on my last super chat. Krown cross on the AVAX daily. Yes, there was. Or hold on. I'm pretty sure. Yep, there is. Nice. Hey, and that actually is a really good. That is a really good example of one too. Contracting into that higher low. As the cross happens is kind of how you want to see that happen. Anyways, okay, Ethereum on the daily. Yeah, man, I would actually really like to record another video on this one as well. Or I have the chart over here. I have the chart. I found the chart. The chart is here. Let me just finish off this coffee here.
You did AVAX from him, right?
Yeah, I just did AVAX for him. So we're good there. All right, here we have Ethereum versus the dollar, and this one a little bit of a laggard actually, all things considered in the current movement. Now I do think that Ethereum is generally going to follow the rest of the market and very likely does have another upside continuation move somewhere around, let's say 34 to 3,500 or so. So I think that we got one more continuation move here, and then I'd very likely be looking for a pullback somewhere in the mid 3,400s, let's say. After that, obviously, I do think that it's just easier to watch Bitcoin for general, for the general market's direction. But in this case right here, we are seeing something that is rather interesting to me in the sense that daily RSI is kind of getting way away from the exponential there. So I probably am looking for a little bit of a short-term consolidation somewhere around that target. Again, probably in like the deeper 3,400s if I had to guess. Obviously has a silver cross on the daily right here. And I will put in invalidation on this one below about 2950 for overall daily continuation. So that essentially means that I'm bullish on this one, looking for higher prices probably in the next month or so. Assuming that level does not get hit to the downside. Until then, if we're looking at the higher term timeframes right here, like the weekly, I think that's something very important just happened as of last week's, or this is not last week, this was last night's closure, that being Sunday. We did confirm regular drives of bullish evidence. I think we actually identified that a couple weeks ago. Yeah, middle of March right here. But ultimately, we're seeing continuation from there. Any sort of short-term corrections down to 3150 is completely fine. Again, I only look at it as problematic below 2950. 2950 very specifically right there. Until then, based off of this right here, I probably am, again, I am looking for a pullback somewhere around the deeper 34s to maybe low 3500s, but ultimately, any sort of a closure, even on a daily above about 34.20, let's say, I would be looking for general continuation probably into the next month, April, somewhere around 38 to 3900, which is, you know, a rather big move on a $3,300 name right now. So pretty damn good right there. As far as short-term timeframes go, again, probably one more continuation drive to the upside and then that pullback. I'd be looking at 4-hour BBWP to kind of get that. I want to see extremes here at minimum 85 percentile before a short-term, medium-term pullback in that case. If we go over here and check out stochastic momentum, I am going to imagine we're probably going to see something relatively similar to Bitcoin. Yeah, we do see that weekly stochastic is to the upside as long as this one's closing above about 2,500, and we are actually going to see the DMI flip above 3,500. So that would be the perfect signal from this strategy's perspective right here. On the advanced stochastic. Other than that, you know, I don't think that we're going to see too much value from looking at the short-term timeframes right here. You know, they're obviously going to be way the fuck up there right now when things are, you know, breaking out in the medium-term timeframe. So I think we'll just kind of avoid that for right now. Other than that, I'd really just be paying attention to the higher-term timeframes. And a very, very... weekly still pretty damn good. Monthly also, yes, I should mention this. Monthly, any sort of a closure above last month's high, which is 32.84, which you're currently above right now. I'd very likely be looking for Ethereum to make that next leg up towards those deeper 3,000 targets in April, probably you know, mid to late April if I had to guess. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful, and there you go for Ethereum, sir. Nice, man. Cool. Let me see where we are at now. And AXS, man, you're just all over the place today, aren't you? All right, Axes. Okay, let's go check out what the old Axes Infinities is up to. Daily and weekly. Daily, yeah, definitely not playing alongside the rest of the market. I am looking for this one to trade a bit more sideways here. If anything, short term probably does play back up towards a range highs, but I would not call continuation on this one just yet. Range highs in this case going to be about $72. Higher term timeframes like a weekly. You know, generally speaking, I do think it's going to get continuation alongside the rest of the market, but this one is on the weaker side. You can see it playing below a lot of the same moving averages that we've looked at on pretty much everything else thus far today, which are above them and looking for continuation. This one, areas of interest to the upside, going to be about $80, and then you got $95 right there. Do I think it's going to try somewhere around there? Probably yes, but not strong on its own. Corrections down. You know, short term to $65 is completely fine, but you know, very, very short term, I do think that you're going to get another try up here, and then any sort of a closure, let's call it above about 71.5. I would be looking for that next leg up somewhere into the, I think it was mid 90s first. Where were we? Okay, you got 80, and then you got 90, actually like 95 to $98. You know, not the strongest, but okay, I suppose. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful, ma'am. And there you go, sir. Crypto Moo, god damn it, what? What is this? I know I saw it. I just always want to call. Like, why are there so many hex people today? Is the question. You can close them when I say you can close them. We'll see. I think it's fine for right now. TC Elliott says, hey, Krown, when Bitcoin open interest gets extra super 420 S high, can it sometimes provide rocket fuel to the upside? It depends, right? So it can provide rocket fuel to the upside if the open interest is due to, you know, shorts being added more aggressively on than longs, for example, because those positions can then be forced liquidated, obviously, which means price action going up, and then, you know, if they have to close, and they have to buy their position as well. So yes, absolutely, that can happen. But for right now, I would say that that's not what the data shows. The data shows that this is probably is in general a little bit more on the long side. Are the people who are being more aggressive, especially above. Sorry, let me put this back on a daily. Especially above, let's say, in the past week. So that brings us all the way back down to when Bitcoin was trading. What is this price right here? About $43,000. So yeah. Or is it always indicative of an impending pullback? It has, to be fair, that actually has been what the data has been for the past couple years here, very consistently. Anytime that you do see open interest very high, has amounted to a pullback. Theoretically, it doesn't always have to be a pullback. It should be direction neutral. It's you can't just look at it in that way, but that has been the relationship more recently, to be fair. Okay, cool. I think we got all of that. I think it's no, it's back to the top actually now. Yes, it is, because I just did all the orange ones, sir. Who? Okay, I see Capotico now. All right, Luna on the 4-hour and daily. Let's see. Luna USD, and you're looking at a 4-hour and a daily. Okay, let's see. Yeah, one of the strong ones certainly here. Oh yeah, this one's one of the best charts we've seen today. Here we have Terra Luna symbol LUNA versus the dollar, and this is I mean, it's been among some of the better charts that we've been looking at for the past few months here, let alone the past couple of weeks, and it continues to be one of the better charts. A very obvious thing going on the daily right now, we see extremely low BBWP, the lowest levels that we've seen. Actually, I think ever in this asset's history. Sorry, no, the last time we saw volatility this low was July of 2020. What happened during that time? That was precipitating this run from 20 cents to 60 cents. Holy shit. I would not blindly suggest that you're going to see a 3x move like that right from here, but it does likely speak towards the severity of this move relative to, you know, the current market cap. Like now you're trading at $95 rather than 20 cents. So quite a fair bit of difference right there. But you do see that it's extremely low volatility. Your momentum oscillators like daily RSIs giving you 3 drives of hidden bullish divergence on a higher low structure. You do see, you know, a very obvious what's it called? Oh, I guess I already got it in there. Reaccumulation formation in the format of an ascending triangle probably does try back around the top side of this, which is basically your all-time highs already at about just above 100, like 102 to 103 region. Any sort of very likely a short-term pullback right there, but ultimately any sort of a closure above there on a medium or higher term time frame, I would be looking for the technical target to be hit after that, which is also in line with the 1.414 Fibonacci extension, about 125-ish, let's say. Probably another pullback somewhere right around there. And then technically speaking, long term, if you're looking for this whole formation to play out, you know, that has a much more deep technical target in like the 190s or so. More long term, I don't think I'd feel comfortable just blindly say that that's going to like happen from right here. Again, I need to first at minimum see that confirmation above 102.5 on a probably higher term time frame for that to even be relevant. It's going to be pullbacks along the way as well. It's not going to happen all in one day, but maybe like the couple months following that. Until then, you know, generally speaking, I do think that you're going to try back around here in the short and medium term. 4-hour is basically trending right, is pretty much trending right now. We do see volatility expansion coming off the lows. 4-hour RSI back in the bullish control zone, and the 4-hour jewel actually got that low pretty damn well and still has some room to run there as well. So I'm generally looking forward to test back around here, probably short-term pullback, and then any sort of a confirmation above there. I just kind of I'll be looking at it one by one. Obviously, that's going to come with an invalidation. As always, I want to differentiate the content on this channel compared to others by offering that up. In this case, it'd be below $89. $89 very specifically. At that point, I would be looking for corrections down somewhere around upper 70s to low 80s. Well, basically upper 70s. And then come back to it after that potentially. So hopefully that was helpful for Luna. And there you go, sir. Nice, man. Jesus Christ, man. Okay, these are getting a little bit crazy here. Mr. Tazco says, "Hey, Krown and Elsa. Elsa, what the fuck? Elsa? What? Cardano USD daily and weekly. Sure. All right. Let me just. Whoops, I spelled USD wrong. Forgot one of the things I wanted to talk about on Bitcoin as well. Yeah, this one's putting in a nice big bounce here, and I do think that it will continue. Should we record a Cardurpio video? I think that we probably should. It's been a very long time since we've recorded a Cardurpio video, but I think that it's time yet again. This one's put in a major low over here. I don't think that we've even spoken about it in the last couple months. I remember we spoke about it last week on the Crypto Sims episode, saying that it's probably, you know, ready for a nice, at least a nice pity bounce. I think that that's exactly what we're getting right now. I would be looking for a general continuation towards 130. Somewhere between 130 and 140-ish region, probably a pullback somewhere around there. But the real question on this one is the low in? Well, I'm getting a pretty important signal here on the weekly jewel. In fact, weekly jewel is showing upside alongside DMI support. So I actually look at that as pretty damn good, especially in the context of generally low volatility here. 5-day, again, probably looking for continuation up to like, let's just call it the mid 130s or so, probably pullback somewhere around there. And then come back to it after that for the short-term timeframes. Long-term, however, I do think that you have a nice low in here, at least for now. You know, probably does try higher into April. I would not blindly say, however, that this is like it forever, but I do think that next move likely does carry you higher into April, probably somewhere around like 160 to 170ish region, then come back to it after that. It's, as always, kind of difficult to be like super bull, or, you know, it's difficult to be looking for like a major reversal on something like this. That's, you know, pretty much only gone down for the past more than half year now, but I do think you're gonna have a chance here. Still probably going to take its time. I imagine that your stochastic momentum from this perspective is maybe going to be having something relevant. Yeah, daily will turn down below about 118. So I do think that you play out a correction relatively soon after that short-term continuation. Weekly is just vertical above 80 cents. Monthly is nowhere near. And 5-day is also vertical above 82 cents. So generally speaking, short-term, bit more continuation, probably pull back after that. And then I do think that April probably tries up somewhere around like 160 or 170, and then we come back to it after that. Hopefully that was helpful for Cardurpio, and there you go, sir. I will go down. Fucking buy the dip. What's up, brother? Jasmine, hourly and daily. Any signs of reversals? I don't know. I don't know. Man, you've been on this one. You've been on this one a lot recently, haven't you? Any signs of reversals? Yeah, it's not following the rest of the market, and I actually do look at this as like we said last week, a really great place for a macro lower high. You know, you did play, I mean, you've already played out that bearish divergence for right there. I would confirm this as a macro high, Mr. Fucking buy the dip, if I do see any sort of a daily closure below about 3.1 cent, anywhere below there, this is your next macro lower high. Weekly, or there's not even a weekly to really analyze, but on the daily, I'd be looking at that as a macro lower high, and very likely going to play back down towards, you know, well below 2 cents, somewhere at about 1.5 to 1.8 cent or so before the next major bounce. Again, daily volatility hit extremes twice. I'm generally looking for things to, at minimum, consolidate for a while there. So I think best case scenario is you play at a range here between about 3.1 and 5 cents. For a long time, and then I would not call any sort of continuation, like obviously, until you're back above 5 cents. And at that point, this thing can very likely run quite a fair bit towards, you know, 8, maybe even 9 cents. But until then, I look at this one as the first one that we've seen today that is showing different signals and unique in that way, but unique in a pretty bad way. Again, I want to see it first close below here, 3.1 cent. Until then, I do think it's a potential, and personally speaking, I think it's rather likely, but I think I'll just leave it right there, man. Anyways, fucking buy the dip is back. He says Gala short and midterm, sir. Any targets and or any reversal? Well, it would be much more helpful if you had a time frame alongside that, because I can't really guess what short or medium term means to you. But in this case, no, I think that this is a low right here. If you're talking about like reversal to the downside, is there anything resembling a reversal on a daily? Yes, you're getting your first higher low right here. And as we said earlier, reversals typically do start, if it's going to be the upside, with a higher low first rather than a higher high in this case. So I probably am looking for short-term continuation towards about 28 cents, probably short-term pullback there. And then I'd actually be looking for this one to take a leg up probably in April, somewhere around the mid to low 30 cent region. Weekly, same thing. I think the weekly is actually putting in a major low right here, to be fair. Full hour is continuation, so I'm looking for short-term continuation, very likely a pullback somewhere in the deep 20 cents, and then likely continuation, another try towards those prior highs in April. Not bad, man. Actually, not so bad right there. I think it's played out. I think it's played out its correction, basically. Anyways, I'll scroll back up on over here. I think we got, Elsa sent me a picture of her holding her boobs with her friends. It's like really, really cool. Anyways, ho, 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 ho. Stefan Milicevic is next, says, hey, Krown, hope you have a swell Monday. Thanks, man. I hope you have a swell Monday as well. Can you do game stonk daily and weekly? Is it complete? Shit. No, I think that one, last we looked at it, it played out. Yeah, it played out the strong majority of our downside move. I mean, it got all the way down to 80 bucks. I've been saying for the past for like the past year that it's going to come back down well below 100. We've gotten that. I do think that next move is to the upside. Now, keep in mind, you're still operating on lower highs as long as you're below 230, but I do think that this one has room to run. Short-term pullbacks to like 138, 140-ish region are completely fine. I am looking for continuation, another try higher, probably into April, somewhere in like the 170 to 180-ish region, and then come back to it after that. If I'm looking at a daily, Yeah, same thing. I'm probably looking for one more spike up there, at least. And then if I am going to be bearish on this one, I'm probably looking for it to put in a high somewhere around about 170, let's call it, and then top it back on over. But this one is, I'll hold off on completing that statement because I don't think it's appropriate just yet. There are some indications here that we actually might have seen the low on this one, but I would have a very difficult time trusting this one. It is a shit stock, and it very likely over a long enough period of time will come back down somewhere around like 20 to 50 bucks. But for right now, I do think that next move is up. It's been beat up quite a fair bit to the downside. I mean, this is your real chart right here. It's reasonable to think that it's probably going to bounce first. SK says, Daddy Krown, hello, son. Luna USD, yep, we got that one, so all good there. I didn't look at it on an hourly, so we can do that, I guess, briefly, but I'm gonna imagine probably short-term up right here, if I recall. Hourly, actually, hourly might have a bit of a short-term pullback, somewhere right around about 96.5 to 97 or so. So I guess that implies like one more very short-term move to the upside, but I don't know if that's super relevant to you. That's the higher term time frames on that one that are, I think, rather interesting there, for what it's worth. It was up, Tokyo Channel. Konnichiwa Krown. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. I say that with respect, man. I really want to get a sword with my Japanese name engraved in there because that would just be super fucking cool. Elsa laughs because she doesn't respect my sword, and honestly, fuck you. Anyways, hope all is well with you as well, man. Could you look at Bitcoin versus the yen? Yeah, I actually removed it from my watch list here. I haven't looked at this one in a while. I just haven't found much use for it, but let's see. Daily had a slightly extra pump than USD, but not much, probably due to US, dollar yen continuing upward. Yeah, exactly. A little bit of a different chart here overall, but this one obviously right back around its December highs. If you're wondering why Tokyo Channel is asking about this chart, well, I'm going to guess that you're probably Japanese, but also in the past, especially in like 2018, 2019, the yen chart would get things ahead of the US dollar chart, generally speaking. And in this case, if you're going to make that same relationship, you're probably looking for that move somewhere around, your December highs, which is that $51,000 to $52,000 region. So, yeah, interesting. Hold on. Yeah, I guess I don't really have too much to add on to that you don't already know, but yeah, this one looks like probably at least tries a little bit higher towards 600,000 yens, and then probably it's a pullback there. And if you are going to see a bull trap, you're probably looking for a local high somewhere around there as well, because you do have that same sort of hidden bearish divergence possible here on the weekly, but for right now, I favor the upside until proven otherwise. Cool. Let's see. Crypto Surfer. Aloha, Krown. Thank you for that nice positive message, man. Good morning to you as well, sir. Let me scroll back down here and see who else we missed. I think that we have Chris. Mr. Chris says, can we take a look at XLM? Man, I haven't looked at this piece of shit in a long time. XLM, huh? Sure. Let's pull it up here, daily and weekly. Again, another chart that's that's putting in a nice low. It's definitely on the weaker side. It's definitely among some of the worst charts that we've seen today, respectively speaking. But if Bitcoin's going to head up and the major ones are going to head up, you're very likely to see everything else kind of follow. In this case, I'll just be looking for this one. I think best it does see upside is probably around 27 cents, assuming that Bitcoin does continue. If you're on a daily, I do think that you're going to see short-term continuation somewhere around 24-ish to 20, maybe even 25 cents, and probably short-term pullback right there. But definitely, you can see on the higher-term timeframes, this one is relatively weak. And I can tell you where I'd call a reversal on this one. If you can close the monthly back above about 27 cents, I would call a reversal with big targets up towards, mid 30s, maybe even deep 30s. But for right now, man, still among some of the weaker charts, was not able to close above its 2017, 2018 highs. It's not the best sign long term, in my opinion. But yeah, if Bitcoin rallies, everything else kind of rallies with it. This one just a laggard and relatively weak. I'd get phenomenally bearish on it below about 21 cents if things were to violate back down around there. I do think that you try higher first, however. Trey Miles says LTX Lattice. Oh dear Lord, man. Bitcoin goes up like $5,000 and people are already asking about the shittiest of shit coins. Let's see what this one is. Lattice Network. Another generally weaker chart here. Again, I'm not talking shit about you as a person, but as far as the chart goes, this is just, it just looked like another nameless altcoin in a sea of nameless altcoins, to be honest with you. 4 day and a weekly. What the fuck? A 4 day? What the fuck are you looking at, man? The fuck are you looking at, man? Sorry. Probably looking at continuation towards 113 to 114 region. Probably short-term pullback right there. Weekly, I do think that you will try higher into April. You know, I think if you see Bitcoin continue, you probably see this one at around 140 to 150-ish region. Other than that, I don't really have a strong opinion on this one on its own. I just look at it as like another nameless altcoin basically in this market, which there's an everlasting sea of these things. Neither strong nor weak. I guess it's a little bit more on the relatively strong side for most of the shit coins. At least it's back above its highs from, in this case, December. Actually, that's actually pretty damn good. You know, I take that back, man. I do think that this one will have a nice little run here. But man, whenever I see something like this, it's like look at this in September, 60% down, total down about 83.5%. It's crazy, man. I mean, that's just. These shitcoins, they move, man. They move. Ryan Garrettson says, love the channel. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Can you check out ZEC on the daily and weekly? Sure, man. Zcash, Zuko Cash, Zuck My Dick Cash. Actually pretty good right here, man. Actually pretty good. At least on the weekly. I would be looking for this one to generally continue somewhere up around mid 200s, 240 to 250-ish region. Any pullbacks down to 190 are completely fine. Long term, I don't really have any major issues with this chart as long as you're above 165. I do think that you got some pretty significant lows in on the weekly, for example. If I'm on a daily, probably one more move to the upside and then a pullback after that, somewhere into the shallow 200s. Or you're already in the shallow 200s, so I guess more specifically said somewhere around like 220 to 230-ish region would be kind of where I'm looking for, and then a pullback from there. Long term, the chart looks like this. I'm never going to be a fan of a chart that looks like this. Is fucking garbage, but I do think that you try higher. And same thing on the monthly here too. So very likely, pulling back relatively soon. Now that I go to the monthly, I do see that you've already made a move to 220 and got rejected there. Probably ranged a little bit more here. I don't really have anything super bearish to say about this. However, as long as you're above 165, generally looking for a consolidation, maybe one more try, short-term higher, and then very likely does gun for like a pretty decent move, and I'd say April or May, somewhere around mid to upper 200s, 250 to maybe as much as 300. I think you got a nice low in there for now. A nice monthly low in, that is. Anyways, crypto moo, hex on the 4 hour and daily. God fucking damn it, man. God fucking damn it. All right, yeah, we'll look at it. Okay, see what we got here. All right, so last time we looked at hex, we did say that a bounce was very likely on this one. I think that the bounce will actually continue here as well. I think this one's actually going to bounce quite a fair bit. You know how hex can move to the upside and to the downside as well, but in this case, I do think that you got more upside. Short term, probably looking at around 16.25. But into April and probably May, I'm looking for this one in the shallow 20 cents region and then come back to it after that. Hard chart to love long term, as long as you are below about 30 cents. But I do think that you're going to rally up probably decently into April, maybe May, somewhere into like the low, maybe even mid 20 cents. If you start to see weakness around there, that's probably going to be your next, lower high, and you already got lower lows. So there's your downtrend and probably sets it up for a move much lower over a longer period of time. But I do think that this one does continue here. Very likely does continue here. There's going to be stops along the way, obviously, but if you're just focused on the higher term timeframes, which sounds like you are, that's essentially what I'm thinking right here. General continuation. Short term, you're probably going to see a pullback relatively soon, somewhere around like 16.25. But I'm not concerned about this chart, especially as long as you're above 14 cents in this case. I do think the next general move is to the upside. Jacob Calabresi says, can you check out Gala? Yes, we did that one, so all good there. Jonathan Reisman has brought up the newest chart I think I've heard today. Can you please chart One Earth on the 4 hour and daily? $2 million market cap and great fundamentals. Great fundamentals, you say? Oh, I've heard all about these great fucking fundamentals since 2018. Guess what happened to all those 2018 great fundamental coins? Let's go look at them. What also had great fundamentals? Litecoin! Litecoin had great fundamentals. Down 90 fucking percent. Great fundamentals, man. What about Neo? How about Neo? Great fundamentals coin. Oh, we have some amazing fundamentals of Chinese Ethereum. Only down 95%, right? Fucking amazing, man. Jesus Christ. One Earth garbage coin. fuck face. Sorry, not you, but this Earth Fund. Sir, you can almost always tell just from the goddamn name if it's going to be a shitcoin or not. And this one, I'm going to guess it is. Now, I've been wrong several times on this in the past, so let's just see if I'm going to be eating my words by clicking this goddamn button. Oh, we have some amazing fundamentals. Oh, down 96%. Oh my God. I can't imagine how great these fundamentals are. Holy shit. Holy fuck. Wait, what? What's this? Wrong soundboard. Fucking garbage, man. Fucking garbage. Probably does go up here. Probably does go up. I think best it does to the upside if Bitcoin makes let's say Bitcoin trades its way into the mid 50,000s. I think best it does to the upside is like 8 to 9 cents. Just fucking garbage. Fucking garbage, man. Fucking garbage. Look, it only goes down. They've only ever sold it while they're telling you about their great fundamentals, great fucking fundamentals. They've been selling on your face. They've been selling on your fucking face. How do I likely know that? And how could you likely know that as well? Well, this is a highly esteemed altcoin, which probably doesn't trade on leverage because ain't no fucking exchange worth their salt is listing this. And that says a lot when you got Coinbase listing goddamn every project. So how do you get price action like this? You actually have to find real spot sellers. Who has the size? Who has the inventory to force price action down this much on an asset that does not trade on fucking leverage, so you can't borrow to sell? Well, probably the early investors and the early founders probably creating this price action right here. So while they're telling you about their great fucking fundamentals, they're selling in your face. $2 million market cap. Great. Fucking great, man. Look, if Bitcoin trades up here, you're probably going to see this thing trade up as well. 8 to 10 cents, I think is best it does on like a major Bitcoin move to the upside. Fucking garbage. Not you as a person. This is a chart. Fucking garbage. You as a person, probably good person. This is a chart. Fucking garbage. Absolute fucking garbage. Cool. Hoax says FX. What the? God damn it, man. What is this? What is this? Frax share. Oh, this is going to be good. Actually, not that bad. Actually, not that bad. Compare great fundamentals chart with this chart. Don't know what the fuck this is, man, but at least it doesn't have lower lows on the higher term time frames. Great fundamentals. That sounds undervalued. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Undervalued, huh? Undervalued. Undervalued. That's right. That's right. It is undervalued. If you invert the chart. Anyways, full hour and daily on this thing. It's certainly not as bad as the last chart that we saw. No doubt about that. I do think that you are ranging on the lower term timeframes, however. Maybe one more try up to 22 and a quarter or so, but I would be looking for this one to play sideways, generally speaking, on the short term timeframes in this range. Something like this with a low of like $20. Daily, any sort of a closure above 22 and a quarter, and I look for this one to trade back up towards 24 and a half to 25. Other than that, I don't really have too much to add onto it. Other than that, I'd get very bearish below about $20 with another run towards 18 or so. But until then, you know, probably trades sideways within that range, I'd imagine, at least for the short term. Let's see. Nomad Dad, what's up, man? SNX on the 4 hour and daily. SNX. Okay, here we go on Binance. Good. Good. We have a nice little higher low right here. Looks like it is going to give a potentially one more try to the upside today. See what the 4 hour looks like. Where would I declare a breakout on the 4 hour? I'd want to see a closure basically about above $5.50, which you're right there right now, man. And I do think that this one will try again to the upside. Daily, probably looking somewhere around about $6 or so around your February highs, your early February highs. If that condition is met, very likely a short-term pullback right there. And, you know, I actually do think that this one's probably setting up for a decent move, more long-term. But, again, good charts, they don't do shit like this. They don't go down 90%. So, I would express concern with that. I do think that this move does generally continue. And anywhere above like $6, I'm looking for this one to take big legs up, somewhere around 7 1/4 or so. But again, it's just easier to watch Bitcoin for direction and then kind of make a correlation to this SNX asset right here, which it's not as bad as some of the other things that we've seen. No doubt about that. It's not like the bottom of the barrel shit, but it is a little bit disappointing right there, I will say. Anyways, Appalachian Nomad. We have Nomad Dad and an Appalachian Nomad. Man, I watched a documentary about Appalachia and wow, I can't believe that that's in America. Insane, man, just insane. Anyways, Mover, M-O-V-R. This is Moon River. And as you can guess from the name, an absolute piece of garbage. There's got to be a better chart than this, man. That is just fucking phenomenally bad. There is a more long-running chart than that, and it's even fucking worse. Name analysis, man. Usually it works. I do think that this one will try higher, somewhere around 76.5. Let's say Bitcoin goes for a big run into the mid 50s. Again, this is like far away anyways. If it were to happen though, I think best this one does the upside is like $100 or so. You're basically getting a pity bounce off of your last like macro all-time low, which is pretty damn common. So I'd say like best case scenario to the upside, assuming that Bitcoin has like major macro continuation of somewhere between like 100 and 125. I'm never going to like a chart like this. I think best case scenario is you do something like this, come back down, then sit in a higher low, and then you get your real move, something like that. And that probably takes months and months on end. But other than that, if you're on an hourly, which you're asking for an hourly and a daily, that's an interesting spread of time frames. I'm actually looking for this one to trade a bit more sideways here and maybe try one more short-term upside move somewhere around about $69. Great number there too. Cool. Okay, now would be a good time to close the chats as I've already wrecked my voice. Ashton Roberts says, hi, hello, Kati, daily and weekly. Sure. C-O-T-I. Got it. Okay, Kati. Good. Well, you're not asking about Aphora, but I generally think that this one's going to, very likely continue the run somewhere. I don't know when I charted this one last, but 28.5 cent would be relevant. Very likely looking at a pullback somewhere around there, but I do think that you have a nice low in here for a while. If we go to the weekly, I'm going to guess that you probably have, no, actually you don't have hidden bullish evidence, but if you start to close weekly dildos above, let's call it 29.5 cents, or actually anywhere above 29 cents would be good enough for me. I'd be looking for this one to put in big rallies in the following week, somewhere around like 36 to 40 cents or so. Until then, long term, it holds its higher lows. It trades volatile as all hell, but that's kind of what you can expect with a lot of these highly esteemed, great fundamental altcoins. This one, again, all things considered, it's actually not that bad when you get those macro higher lows. I'm waiting to see your comment. There we go. Elsa's Prada Fund. What is this Prada Fund? Dear Lord. Anyways, stop asking stupid questions. You say, have some respect, sir. Have some goddamn respect. Cool. All right. Tom Struct says, best wishes, sirs. Please have some of my meager Axis profits. Nice, man. Seems like you've been doing pretty well. And look at the 12-hour and daily. If it's already done, then FMG. I think we did do AXS, so we'll do FMG on. Thank you for specifying the. Thank you for specifying the exchange. It's actually very helpful. So Fortescue Metals, and you're looking at a weekly and monthly. Got it. Okay, let's see what we got right here. I generally think that you're going to be like on the macro scale, probably ranging for a while, but this is actually good. I actually do think that it does get likely resolved to the upside. So the question is, where do you think start to like flip around and start to look for moves back up towards basically your prior highs at 24.5 to $25? Need to see a monthly closure above about 21 in this case. Weekly, I think next move is probably a try up somewhere around like 21 or so, and then see if the monthly closes above that major region. If it does, then I'm looking for that continuation probably in the following months. I would express caution, however, with any sort of a weekly closure below 1865, that is. At that point, I look for it to test the bottom side of the range first before trying an upside move. In that case, like 15.5 to $16 or so. Hopefully that was helpful, man. Ahmed Al-Athari says, AVAX USD. Yep, we got that one, but AVAX versus Ethereum. Nikki just deleted her message. It's gone, man. I can just see if, okay, you did. Okay, he got it. We'll just do it really quickly. DBC, what the fuck is this? The fuck is this, man? Deep Brain. Oh, god damn it, man. Yeah, I did all the other yellow ones. There's not a chart for this, man. I can't give you an opinion on this. Oh, here we go on Gate.io. That's mother. Sir, my voice is already wrecked, so I'm going to avoid this one. I do think that you probably try higher here, but this is garbage. And, you know, best case scenario to the upside is like 0.2 of a cent or so long term. Sir. You know, it's time for a pity bounce here, but I think 2 cents is somewhat likely. If things really get going, like Bitcoin, you know, moves its way into the 50s, you're probably looking somewhere around 4 cent or 0.4 of a cent actually. But you know, just garbage here. Anyways, let's see. Okay, let me scroll back here. And what do we have? Holy shit, man. A lot of comments. AVAX versus Ethereum. Okay. Haven't done that. Let's pull this one up on Binance and medium and high timeframes. Don't know what the fuck that means to you. Also, I also don't really have a good opinion on the higher term timeframes here. For what it's worth. Yeah, I really don't have a good opinion on this. A healthy amount of I don't know is the proper answer here. I can give you the cop out answer. I'd call this one a resolution to the upside with a daily closure above 0.31. Until then, you kind of have a higher low right here. You know, if you're playing the ranges 2.6, whatever the fuck number that is, and I look for a move back down to the bottom side of the range. But I actually don't. I really don't have a good opinion on this chart. So I think I'm going to cop out and say I don't know. I do not know. IR Brandon says, first, I'd like to say thank you. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you. Wow. Thoughts on EOS on the daily and longer term, the 2-week. Okay. 2-week chart isn't something that I look at too often. You know, it can definitely hold some merit, but hey, not bad move right there for EOS. Man, I haven't heard this one really being spoken about since 2017, 2018 as well. I do look for a continuation on this one somewhere around 3.25 to 3.30 or so, and then very likely a short-term pullback there. Probably after that short-term pullback, I do look for extension towards $3.50, but I'm not inclined to say that this is like the low just yet. It looks like I think it looks like best case scenario long-term is something like this, where you play at a range a little bit more and then try an upside move longer term. But other than that, I don't have really a strong opinion on it. My strong opinion is on short-term continuation, very likely a pullback somewhere around 3.25, 3.30, and then probably one more try to the upside after that, somewhere around like 3.5. Other than that, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here. I guess I would invalidate that and be very bearish on this with a move back down below 260. I don't think that's what's happening right here, but you know, as always, needs to kind of be said. So hopefully that was helpful, man. But yeah, if you're asking about the 2-week, I guess we can bring it up. Yeah, I generally think that you get continuation here, and you do try hard before a general pullback. So that's I suppose what I'd say about that. What? Oh, thank God, man. Yeah, that crypto was god fucking awful. DBC. I'm talking about this Invesco Commodity Index. Bullish. You don't need me to tell you this is bullish. I do think you're going to gun for your early teens highs, which is like 29 to $30 or so. Very likely pullbacks within that region. This move is like really, really aggressive here. But I suspect that you got a little bit more. I want to see monthly BBWP get probably somewhere at least north of 85 percentile. And then at that point, I'm looking for like a monthly pullback. Until then, I think you got one more move to the upside there. And then your pullback. Other than that, I don't really have a strong opinion on it. Let's see. Okay. The Mad Catter wants to look at GameStop. Yep, we got that one. So good there as well. Let's see. Tom Struck says, stay frosty, everyone. We've been hurt before. That's right, man. And again, you know, that's why I want to point out where a major invalidation would be. And it's like, if you are looking for a bull trap, like I said, there's two major areas that I think stick out. $56,000 for the 618 Fibonacci retracement, and then also kind of more where we're at right here. If you do start to see Bitcoin come back down below about $44,000 on a higher term time frame closure, that would confirm a lower high and hidden bearish evidence, and generally imply lower. So I think I'll just leave that right there. Hurricane Bully says full hour and daily for Spell. Okay, Spell token. Okay, not familiar with this one myself. Pretty fucking awful chart. I think we'll just leave that right there. You know, again, I do think that most things are generally going to try higher here. This one probably tries again somewhere around like almost 0.5 of a cent, or sorry, more like 4.75 of a cent or so. Garbage long term though, absolute garbage long term. But I do think that you're going to try higher here. Let's say Bitcoin, really gets going to the 50s. I think best this one does the upside is like 6 to 7 tenths of a cent. And I'm never going to like a chart like this, man. I'm never. Just really, 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 really bad. I mean, this is 90% down. It's probably gonna trade higher here, but maybe you really believe in the fundamentals, and fair enough. That's not my game. So hopefully that was helpful, man. What's up, Tyler Bunkelvoss? Mr. Bunkelvoss is back. My bastard! Is that bull hair I see? Me and the Tezzy Lezzies would like to see, I thought that was a lesbian reference. XTZ USD weekly. When retirement? I don't know, let's see. Remember, this one was actually not so bad about half a year ago, so let's see where it's kind of ended up in the interim. I mean, honestly, it's very, very volatile, obviously, but what stands out is that it does hold its higher lows over a long enough period of time. So whatever it is, is getting respected. I do think that you're going to generally try higher here, about 415 to 420ish or so. Very likely play to pull back from there. I have nothing really like bearish to say about this. As long as you're above 350, below there, very, very bearish, most likely, at least retesting like 280, 290 lows. But I think generally speaking, next move is probably to the upside on most of these things. Let's see, where do you think start to like really get interesting here? I suppose back above about 450, I do look for this one to put in like some pretty significant rallies into the mid fives, maybe even somewhere between $5.50 to $6 if that were to happen. For right now, among some of the better ones long term, I'd say. Hopefully that was helpful, man. Mr. Shekar says, morning, Krown. What's up, man? LRC USD on the 4-hour and daily. Yes. So this is Loop Rings, I think. Yeah, it is Loop Ring. Yeah, man, this one was pretty popular as well. And again, another chart here that stands out amongst the sea of, of a lot of shitcoins. And this is good. And this one's actually been around since 2017, 2018 as well. Even made new highs above those highs. So that is good. Anyways, if you're on a 4-hour and daily, I know I'm on a weekly right now, but I am generally looking for this one to try higher, like 137 to 140 daily. I'm probably looking for one more try at around 123 to 1.25, and then very likely a short-term pullback right there. After that short-term pullback, any sort of a daily closure higher above like 120, let's just call it 1.25. And I do look for this one to have big rallies up into the 160 to maybe even 190 more long-term. Stands out as one of the better altcoin charts actually. I imagine we also have hidden bullish evidence come off the low right there as well, so not bad. I would only invalidate this one with a daily closure below about basically $1 below there. I look for this one to be one massive bull trap, but until then, okay, actually one of the better ones. Hopefully that was helpful, man. Kelly Kellum says, I've been around for 3.5 years. Holy fuck, man, an OG of OGs, and I definitely recognize your name, sir. Keep it up. And now I'm on crypto YouTube. Sweet, man. You're on crypto Jeb's channel. Cool. That's sweet, man. That's really, really awesome. Congratulations, man. That's cool as all hell. Felicia, are you a real girl or just an internet girl? B Cash. No, it's, I mean like a real girl as in also if you identify as a girl, you can also be a real girl. But I just mean like, fuck, that's actually now, look, do you have a Y chromosome or an X or 2 X chromosomes? That's what we should boil it down to. Oh, God damn. Weekly and monthly on Bcash. I didn't know people looked at this anymore, but pretty damn close here. I would get very bearish on this one below 340. Until then, I generally think you're going to trade a bit more sideways here in the coming weeks, and in any sort of a weekly closure above $400, even a daily closure above like $400, and look for this one to make a nice leg up towards 450 to 460. Same thing on the monthly as well. Other than that, I don't really have a strong opinion on this chart. It is commendable that it's actually survived this long, but I don't like. Pretty fucking awful long term, yeah. Pretty fucking awful long term. That's the real chart right there. God awful. Nowhere near its 2017, 2018 highs. But yeah, I do think that you probably try higher here. Personally speaking, I do think that you will see like $450, maybe even $500 in the coming couple months. But be aware of where the invalidation is, because below there, I am phenomenally bearish on this. I suppose. I mean. It's already been beat up pretty damn bad. What's up, Mr. Martin Hunt? Good morning to you as well, ma'am. All good, dude. All good. Hey, man, I appreciate that as well. Can we look at Cadena daily and weekly? Kaderpa. I remember last we looked at this, it was actually decent, and I would say the same thing here as well, but I know that there's a more long-running chart, maybe KuCoin. Let's put on log. Yeah, again, you know, I'd say it's among some of the more somewhat stronger charts here. I'd get very bearish on this one below 667, but as long as that's not happening, I'm looking towards 770 to basically $8. Let's see, you're on a daily and weekly. Yeah. Weekly, I generally think that you're probably putting in a major low right here, but typically, or technically speaking, won't be confirmed until you start closing back above at least some of these swing high wicks over here. Yeah, for right now, I'm generally looking for sideways and up, as very specifically, as long as you're above 669. Below there, I get bearish, very bearish, but until then, I generally think most things are going to try higher here. G says, can you check out Hex? Yep, we looked at that one. Generally looking a little bit higher there as well. G Deezer says, can you check out TEL versus BTC? Okay. All right. Yeah, TEL coin. We haven't looked at this in, it's got to be like half a year now. And you're looking at an hourly. Okay, so someone's got to pay rent, and rent probably gets paid. I do think you're going to try back around 1935 Satoshi, something like that. Excuse me. Other than that, I mean, a really fucking weird looking chart here, but yeah, I generally think you're gonna try short-term higher, somewhere back around like these 2000 Satoshi highs, somewhere around there. Lucid Lorex, and I should give an invalidation as well. Invalidation short-term below 1875. Lucid Lorex says, should I always be afraid of max BBWP and hot RSI and aggressive uptrends like Moss daily, weekly? Let's see. So this is Mosaic Company. You're on a weekly. I mean, it's not that like volatility just gets high. I want to see it get extreme and then get below the moving average, and that's typically when I look for on a corrective move. Weekly RSI, you know, being high on like a momentum oscillator, like an RSI or like a stochastic, that's actually a good sign of a strong trending move. Like you expect that. And then I look for BBWP to kind of tell me when that move is likely to go into a consolidation phase. In this case, I think that you probably got at least another week here. So it's not that I would be afraid of it. It's just, you know, that's the time when you look for a bit of a consolidation. In this case, I think that you probably try a little bit higher first, maybe around like mid to low $80 or something like that. So hopefully that's helpful, man. Because, you know, again, on these very volatile upwards moves in this case, you're probably going to see it. It's not until like you really start to see this curl down where the move actually, you know, consolidates for a bit. BK says NTFX. Okay, am I doing this right? NFTX. There we go. Okay. What is this? Is this like a what are they? Oh my god, what are they called? The fucking things. Is it an index for those pictures that you pay a lot of money for? What are they called again? NFTs. I don't have an opinion on this. It's fucking garbage chart right there. What the hell? All right, so this is a much different chart than what we just looked at on Trex. I don't know if I'm looking at the right one or not, but I would generally be looking for another retest of your 160, 156, 155 highs. 4 hour probably shows one more try to the upside as well. On Gate Exchange, sir. If you got to go all the way over here into the shitcoin drawer. I do think that's going to try higher here, though. Somewhere around like mid 160s, let's say. Yeah, we're getting a lot of different charts for these ones, and then very likely a pullback from those regions. Long term, it's not actually that bad. In fact, it's not bad. But I would be looking for pullbacks from those regions. Interesting. Jack Frost says NAS 4 and daily is okay. So is this a crypto, or like, do you mean NASDAQ? Okay, maybe you're talking about this. Let Elsa know if I'm looking at the wrong thing. But again, looking up here, man, I'm looking for continuation here. Probably somewhere just under 25 cents on the daily. 4 hours continuation as well. Invalidations below about 21.5. I'm generally looking for this one to try a little bit more upside. Long term, not a fan. Really bad long term. Really fucking awful long term. But yeah, I do think that you try a little bit higher here. Cool. Jay Header says, hey Krown, I want to give you your flowers because hey man, thank you for that. Some roses for me. It's going to be 100 roses for 30 minutes, sir. AMP daily and weekly. Sure, man, sure. So AMP is something that we haven't looked at in a very long time. I think it trades best on Gemini from what I remember. You're looking at a daily and a weekly. Again, what kind of stands out about this one is that you're at your spike lows from February, March of last year correction. So again, likely to get pity bounces in this region here, which is what I think you're doing. Or not you, but AMP is. Let me just try another chart. Okay, yeah, so Gemini is so far better. Maybe this one. Yeah, Gemini is going to be the best one in this case. But it looks significantly different to the other ones. It is weaker in the short term, I would say. But do I think that you're going to try another upside move towards like 2.8, 2.9 cents? Very likely, yes. I would not call this one like a general, good low until you're back above about 3.5 cent. 3.5 cent. At that point, I look for this one to, put in some nice rallies back into like the 4.20 to 4.5 cent region. Other than that, I'd say it's more on the weaker side in the short term. I don't really have too much to add on to it other than that. I would get very bearish on this one below 2.6 cent. This is not NASDAQ. This is okay. NAS. All right. So usually we say NQ. NASDAQ right here. Or what time? 4 hour and daily. The question is, do we get continuation of the upside first or a pullback first? I don't have a strong opinion on that. I would actually be more inclined to say that you try higher first before the pullback, but I don't feel too married to that idea. And trying higher would be somewhere around like 15,000, which I believe we said was a target like a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. Very likely a pullback somewhere around 15 to 15.1 or so. But I don't feel too married to that. And I would invalidate short-term upside continuation with a full hour below about 14,475 with correction first down somewhere around 14.3 and then come back to it after that. Other than that, I don't really have a strong opinion. I know that I get bearish on it below 14.3 on a daily. Other than that, I don't really have a strong opinion here. The weekly says to expect a corrective move to the upside. Corrective obviously would mean, long-term trend remains. In this case, that would be to the downside. So other than that, I don't really have too much to add on to it. I don't really have a strong opinion on that one, to be honest with you. Jasmine, we looked at that one, so all good there. Spencer Smith said, hey man, love you as well, sir. Miami Music Week going on. Oh, so you've been, what? Yeah, we already did that. So you've been at Ultraman. I've been partying responsibly with the wife. Nice. KLV. So does that mean like drinking water with your ecstasy or like KLV? Clever coin. Daily and weekly. Generally looking for another try up here, probably somewhere around three, maybe even 3.25 cents. I'm not going to like this chart long term. It just kind of looks like this, but any sort of a weekly closure above that 3.10 cent, I would be looking for big legs up towards maybe even close to 4 cents or so. But for right now, I think you got a nice low in there. On the weekly, I'd only invalidate that and be bearish on it again below about 2.4 cent. BK says near USD. Okay, we haven't looked at this one in a long time, and this was like the hot shit back in November. Yeah. Generally looking for another try somewhere around about $14. Probably short-term pullback right around there. But I would be looking for a closure above there, implying continuation back up toward probably just continuation in general. Honestly, this is one of the better ones on the weekly, on the higher term timeframes. Another drive of hidden bullish. I've earned stuff that last low, but that's the easy portions of that move's already played out. Any sort of a weekly closure above $14, and I'm looking for this one to retest around. It's like, what is this, January highs or so, somewhere around 17 to $18, and probably just floats up higher from there. But where to get bearish on this one? Bless you, sir. Bearish on this one below about 11.5. Until then, I'm generally looking sideways and up here. It's actually among the better charts that we've seen today. Yaroslav says, have you seen Ape, that NFT token? I have not, man. I try to stay away from these sorts of things, but yeah, we can look at it. There's not really a chart for me to look at here, man. I don't have any opinion on this chart. For the history that we do have, it's generally good. If I was to call it short term, I'd say pull back first to like $14, but I would not be married to anything that I say on this one. It's just way too new, and I don't have any good opinions on something like this or any opinion at all, really. Generally speaking, I'd be looking for the 4 hour to continue. I don't know, probably later this week if I had to call it somewhere back around like 18, maybe even $19. Baker 2G, appreciate that. Ooh, and a very nice avatar there. Is that another real girl? Anyways, no comments, so all good. Or unless if you've messaged Elsa, so you have not, so all good. Let's see, we have DGB, Digibyte. Wow, I remember when people thought that this thing was going to be good. 4 hours good. Daily is also good. Probably looking for this one to try again, somewhere around just under 5 cents, like 4.75 to 5 cents or so. This would be where you kind of expect a weekly low or high, but I know that there's certainly an exchange that has more history than this. Yeah, it's got to be Bittrex. To be fair, over a long period of time, I wasn't expecting this, but it does hold its higher lows. I wasn't expecting that at all. 4 hour, probably short-term pullback first. Pullbacks can come anywhere down to like 3.5 cents, completely fine. I would only look at this one as like bearish below about 3 cents in this case on a daily. Until then, short-term, probably ranges and tries for a higher low, and then tries again to the upside. What does a monthly look like? Yeah, I do think it's going to generally try somewhere around like 5 cents, let's say, next month or so. Not bad there, and also has another drive of hidden bullish evidence forming on the monthly. Not bad. I'm gonna take a sip of this water, man. My throat is starting to kill me. Oh, Mr. African Crypto Warlord, good morning to you, man. I'm allergic to spammers. There you go. Moral, what's up, man? Yep, we got ApeCoin, so all good there. Crypto King says UPI, please. Okay, forget, is this a stock or is this, oh goddamn, cryptos are coming up here, so probably this. Protocol. No history here, man. You also didn't give any time frames, which you should probably know better because you have been here for a long time, but fair enough, man. If I had to call this chart last week, last week I know I was bearish on this one, somewhere right around here. Kind of have to go off a market analysis right here. I probably do look for this one to try to the upside. 8 cents would be an area of interest, but I don't have an opinion on this chart. More than that, it's a little bit too new. Or it's much too new for me to really have a general opinion on it. If I had to call it right now, though, I do think that next short-term move to the upside and then come back to it after that, I'd be bullish above like 9 cents on a daily closure. Until then, though, I don't know, I think short-term up and then come back to it after that. Probably going to trade whatever Bitcoin does as well. David Leva says, AMC to 1 billion this week. Can you check that, kind sir? It's probably going to be like GameStop, where it's probably in for a decent bounce here. Definitely not as strong as GameStop, though. This one already hit our downside targets, however. Yeah, I remember we were calling somewhere down to like 15 or so way back here in like September of last year. We've already gotten that move, so I kind of think the same thing as GameStop. Probably tries higher into April, but I think best it does see upside is maybe like 29 to 30 bucks or so. Other than that, I can tell you where I'd get bearish on this thing yet again, where this would be kind of a failed low, and that would be below about 17.5 on a daily closure. Till then, I think that you're generally going to try a little bit sideways and upside here into the next month and then come back to it after that. But yeah, I mean, I really shouldn't have a strong opinion on this one, simply because it hit like our very long-term targets in this case. Kind of have to let it do its own thing for a little bit of time here. So I think I'll just leave that right there. Tough with 2 Fs says, oh, we got some Forex. Nice. All right. Canadian dollar versus the real dollar. We'll do this on IDC. Jesus Christ, man. I haven't charted this one in a very long time, but I'd be bullish on Canada dollar versus US dollar, and I'd be looking for this one on the monthly to pop back up towards 81 cents would be an area of interest, and then more long-term, just under 83 cents. Pretty good. I think that you got a major low in right here, to put it bluntly. Very low volatility on what seems to be a monthly higher low in the making. I think that this one's going to try up. Weekly, if you see short-term corrections somewhere around 79.50, that's completely fine. I'm looking for this one to generally try higher into the 81 to 82 cent region. I actually think that you're putting like a major macro low here for what it's worth. So pretty good on that one. Kenny Renardi says, hi, hello, ICP USD. Okay, so ICP, this one is the one that's been sold to all hell. So let's see where it's at. Yeah, not great right there. So again, a very, very weak chart here. Is it likely to try higher with the rest of the market? Probably yes. Probably yes. Wouldn't be surprised to see it give a try up towards like 24.5 to 25.25. But long term, it's just, it's hard to love a chart like this. I think best case scenario, it does to the upside. Let's say Bitcoin goes to like, 50,000 plus. I think this one probably sees somewhere around 32 to 34 bucks. Other than that, though, I'm just never going to like a chart like this until you get the reversal. And at some point, can that happen? Yes, but it's so far away that I don't think it's worth talking about as of right now. You don't even have a daily higher lows just yet. But yeah, I do think that you will try higher. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about that, man. Mr. Brand is back. He says, mind looking at Bitcoin 2-week compared to April 27th of 2020. I can. Let's see where you're going with this one. We'll put on log for the moment. Let's take off this for right now. So what are you trying to pull up here? Your April would have been, where is that? I don't know my months. Here we go. April of last year. I'm guessing you're like talking about the reclaim of the 21. I don't personally see what you're kind of looking at. I do think that if you're just looking at the 2-week for this segment right here, I think it kind of speaks a little bit, it speaks on its own, right? You have drive of hidden bullshit burdens off the low. You have generally low volatility. If you reclaimed all major moving averages, probably looking towards $52,000, 51 to 52. But as compared to this area over here, I don't see it. I also don't think that's like the proper way to really be using moving averages, to be honest with you. But I guess I see some similarities as to you, I suppose. Or no, sorry, I'm in the wrong area. I guess some, but things should be obvious. And I think this over here kind of already does it anyways. You got a bi-weekly higher low. You got momentum also just pointed up. Bi-weekly Jewel has lost its downside curvature, even trying for some upside right there, and DMI support, volatility low. Looking for another try up, man. Crypto Life says NNDM. This must be a stock. Okay. Nano Dimension. No time frames given, for the love of fucking God. What the fuck is this thing? Oh God, this is like a stock shit coin. Oh God, man, it's just fucking awful. Here's the real chart too. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Just garbage. Just fucking garbage. Probably gonna try higher here though. I do think that you probably see back around like 4.25 to 4.30 or so. If the market really gets going, 5.10 to 5.15 is where I'd be looking towards. Other than that, if you're on a higher term time frame, which I don't even know what time frame you're on, to be honest with you, because you didn't specify, nothing bullish about this chart until you get, a higher high above your January 2021 highs, which is quite far away. Not impossible, but quite far away. And that would be about 18 bucks or so. Until then, this is a chart that's pretty much only gone downs in the last 10 years. So I don't have any reasonable analysis to say that it's gonna reverse to the upside here. I think that you try to the upside, but probably just another lower high if I had to guess. Dumb Down Dollar says Hex TA for next 6 months. I don't know about the next 6 months, but I think you're generally going to trade higher from here, as we said earlier. I don't have like a crystal ball for that, man. I just think next move is up. Kenny Renardi is back. He says CHR. Okay. CHR daily and weekly. Okay. I guess we go here. Yeah, not bad actually. Not bad. Not familiar with this one myself, so yeah, it's okay. I mean, you got hidden bullish evidence right here. I do think you're going to try short term up somewhere around about 53 cents or so. If you're on a daily, yeah, same thing. Very, very likely continuation here. I'd only validate a major failure in bull trap below about 44 cents or 45 cents basically. Until then, I'm looking sideways and up, probably somewhere around 60 cents if I had to guess, before the next sort of general pullback. If you see any sort of a weekly closure above 60 cents, I'd really look for this one to go on like a major run, 3/4 to maybe even 80 cents after that. But for right now, just looking for next move, likely up, keeping that invalidation in mind. Cool. Jesus Vargas says, morning, Miss Krown. What's up, man? Sol. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, man, no one asks about Solana anymore. We'll see where it's at. Daily, weekly, monthly, weekly. Yeah, and this one got beat up big time to the downside. But again, you know, you can generally see on this chart holds its higher lows over a long period of time. So that does, in my book, kind of make it generally better. However, in the short term, definitely on the weaker side. Do you think that you're probably going to try up towards like 119 to 120 or so? On the next move, probably a bit of a pullback there. Monthly, I don't have an opinion on this chart. Way too new. Even the weekly is kind of a stretch, but 5-day, yeah, same thing right here. Any sort of like a daily closure above 130, and I'd say this one's gonna be primed for a pretty big run towards like the 170-ish region. Until then, I think you're generally gonna trade a bit more sideways and up. Short term, be aware of like the 122 to 125 region as a short term pullback on the daily. Not super bad. But not super great either. Very bearish below about $100 again, however. Very fucking bearish below there. Like, very fucking bearish. Dumbed down dollar says HDRN. Okay. Is it bearish or bullish? On what fucking time frame, man? Do you, like, no offense, but think about it. Like, if you're looking at like a 5-minute, for example, to make like a very exaggerated example, is that going to mean that it's bullish or bearish on a daily, for example? Is this bearish over a long period of time? Fuck yeah, man. This is garbage. This is absolute fucking garbage. Is it bullish short term on the daily? You know, does it likely see higher here? Yeah, 30, probably somewhere around 33,500, whatever the hell this number is. Don't know. And again, don't know your time frames as well, man. But I am looking for this one to try higher here. I am looking for it to try higher short term and medium term. So take that as you will. I think best case scenario to the upside does like 38,600, whatever the hell that number is. But yeah. Ahmed, yep, we got you a while ago. I can trade stuff says keep USD on the on Kraken. Okay, so even an exchange there too. Cool. Keep. All right. So this one right here, and you're on a daily and a weekly. Daily's good. Yeah, bizarre chart here, but yeah, not bad long term. Just been in a general range, put in its first higher low as of late January. I do think that you're trying sideways and up here, back up to like 80 cents, maybe even $1. Above $1, this thing very likely runs quite a fair bit to prior highs from August 2020. Don't know what the hell this thing is, but actually among some of the better charts today, definitely. Bearish below 60 cents. I don't think that's what's happening. I do think that next move is to the upside, but generally, yeah, generally one of the better charts there. Spencer Smith says, can I get a dash fundamental roast, please? Oh, dear Lord. My voice can't handle it right now, but I am curious to see what the chart looks like. Yeah, I remember when people were talking about good fundamentals on this highly esteemed piece of shit. I do think it's going to try higher here, though. Probably 150 to 160-ish region. I do think is rather likely. Sagar says FTM and AVAX just one at a time, but we've already done AVAX. We'll do FTM in this case. FTM had like their dear leader leave, so I, as always, don't really trust tentacles that much when it comes to these situations, except for like the obvious areas. You already hit the obvious area to the downside. That was $1. I do think that next try is likely to the upside, somewhere around 150 to 160, but I don't have any strong opinions on it other than that, man. Yeah, probably tries a bit more upside here. I can tell you my strong opinion is on where I'd get bearish on this one. Very, very bearish below 134. Until then, probably looking at another sideways and upside move, if I had to guess. But other than that, I think it's gone. Hey, what's up, Justin Young? It's been a while, man. It's been a long time. It's been too long. All right, XRP to end the day. To end the day, man. All right. XRP, US DERP. Okay, let's see what she's got here. And you're on a daily and a weekly. Oh, you have a kid coming. Sweet, man. Name suggestion, please. You can name him Elsa. Yeah, name him Elsa, you know, so that just in case he changes his gender or whatever the fuck, then it's already baked in. No problem at all. Look, I don't know what a good name for a kid would be, man, but hey, congratulations. Seriously, that's awesome, man. It's it's like these are like actual important things. It's good. Generally looking up here on the weekly, I do think they have a major low in right here. Another drive of hidden bullish divergence, another higher low on low volatility. Good. Looking for it to try up somewhere around 95 cents to $1. I start to look at this one. I honestly think that Ripple is putting in like a major low here. I know that people don't like Ripple, but if I'm just calling the chart as it is, yeah, I do think that you have a major low in here. I don't really have anything bearish to say on this one as long as you're above about 73 cents. Long term, I do think that next move is to the upside above $1. So hopefully that was helpful, man. All right, my voice is absolutely wrecked today. It's been a fun day, man. Having some fun times on some new caffeines, and I think that is a good place to leave it off. It's been an absolute pleasure on this lovely, Monday morning. Have a nice Monday in your life. Bitcoin, probably preparing for a pullback somewhat-ish soon. I think maybe got one more try higher towards 48.5 or 49 or so, but very likely a pullback in the interim. Other than that, I think I'll be shutting off right there. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you, and Elsa's waving in the background because she loves you today, and I'll be signing off with that. Take care, and see you soon.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, XR pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test it, build it, try it, bend it, fork it, hype it, pump it, dump it, rinse, repeat, but quick relocate. Pause it, list it, send it, burn it, pump it, hack it, quick rename